But I was gonna say, I'll get in trouble with somebody thinking she's getting screwed out of his inheritance.
Who?
Well, let's just, oh man, man, about 20 grand, you know that. Why is he thinking he just, when he turns around, thinks that he's just holding that on him now? He called it in, and I said, we're just gonna be treated, so
Nice job. I kind of went through mine the other day. I stopped out. I've actually been around this week. I was only on a job. This job's a loss. I gotta go back here tomorrow.
I do have 5 o'clock, but I'm not sure why he's not started yet.
I wouldn't want to get on the wrong side of Sherry though. Sherry was kind of on arms yesterday too.
Today too,
Really?
because he called her today.
Would you like to start the meeting? I have 5
Yes.
o'clock, but there you
If
have.
you got 5 o'clock, we'll start. I wanna get done here. I'm gonna take Larry and Julie out.
Oh yeah, well, I'd like to go to church, but I ain't.
Okay, we are live.
You will. It is March 23rd, 5 o'clock. We're gonna open the EDA meeting. Mitch,
Yes.
you wanna get up to the podium? We got,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's a nice setup you got.
Yeah, it looks great.
That is nice.
Do we need to approve the minutes? Period, or
Yeah,
make a motion?
I got a second?
Second.
Motion made and second to approve the minutes of the February 23rd meeting. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, other business. Mitch.
All right, perfect, thank you. All right, so first things first is the community gardens. I did submit some rules and regulations along with the application. I don't know if all of you have had the opportunity to review those yet. So kind of the essential breakdown of the rules and regulations that each person is responsible for their own plot. They have to keep it clean and tidy, free of weeds. We're gonna, when we design the plots, we're gonna keep 1 foot in between them, so there's a walking spot. At the end of every season, they're going to be required to clean up everything. If they have any items there, they're required to clean it up. If not, there could be a potential charge if city staff have to go in there and clean up their items. Whatever the hours would be and however long it takes them to do that. Kind of the idea of when we would want to start it would be May 1st, October 15th. That's kind of the timeline that we're thinking. And the location that we were thinking was by the ball field out here. Jill, I don't know if you'd be able to pull up a map so that they can see it. But Carrie and I were looking at it, and it looks like we could fit probably 6 to 8 20 by 30 plots there, which I think is plenty for a community this size. No, she's pulling that up. It's a first come first served basis, which would be $30 charge for whoever wants to rent it for the year. That's pretty standard. I know that's what Rochester does, but that price is up to you guys to say whether or not you want to do that price or have free or whatever you want to do.
So here's Rosie Park where you.
It's up there. You see where a Goodyear baseball field is there? Right to the right of that.
Yeah, so it's going to be like right in this section here.
Oh, that's where we did
Right.
dump the snow then?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Yeah, that's good level ground, decent ground there.
Yep. Work out well. Some of the things that we still have to think about is who's doing the tilling. Do we want the city to do the first round of tilling and the year-end tilling, or do we want that to be up to the people renting the property as well? Those are some of the things that I think we need to decide before we approve this and before you guys approve that location. All that's up to you. These are just my suggestions.
Yeah, they go up to bust
Well,
a bunch of sod.
I think the city should do it the first time so we get the right size for all of them.
Okay.
I mean, that's my opinion on it.
Well, it would make sense, and they're all laid out properly.
Yeah.
You know,
So, I got a question. We don't have a tiller,
Oh, we'll get one.
we'll get one?
Not buy one, but we'll just
Hire someone?
Yeah,
Okay,
there's a guy that would do it in town already, so.
that's fine.
We could just get you one of these little ones.
Handheld.
It's got a wheel with 3 prongs on the back.
Yeah, actually a mule on a strap.
How
So,
does that affect, like with the Excel? There, I just happened to be talking to the Excel guy yesterday when I was walking by, because I asked him what he was doing, and he said, well, I'm measuring the power line. And he talked about replacing some poles out there from the substation behind there. He's measuring the lines so they get them back to the right tension, height, and all of that. So we had, quite a conversation. He said, so we're gonna be doing some work back there. Is that gonna affect that spot?
It shouldn't, the
It
way it
shouldn't.
looks, no.
Okay.
No.
No, because the road, it's to the west side of the road that's going back there now.
yeah, it'll probably end up hugging close to the ball field, like a foul line there. It'll be fairly close to there, so they should have plenty of access to get back to their plant back there and do any maintenance that they have to do.
I do have a question. Are you have water, or is it be up to the people putting the gardens in to water, haul it back there themselves?
Yeah, my suggestion would be to have them do that. I don't think that should be a city expense to have to put in water to go back there. They should be able to, bring gallon jugs or, get a 50-gallon, jug machine that they can haul back in there to water their crops. So, that's what I would think, but
Is that in here?
I don't know if that is directly in the guidelines.
It maybe should be, so they don't
Sure.
understand that, think that we're gonna be bringing water back there.
Will they have to fill out a form or something to take a garden, or?
Yes, so
It
in
could
there
be
there
on
is an
that one.
application.
Yeah, an application could be on there, state of easy.
Yep, so we can add that to,
It's not here, Jason, the application's right here.
Oh, okay, well, it's further back, oh, right here, okay, yeah.
yeah, so in that application, they do have to check and sign that they agree to follow the rules and regulations, so we can throw that.
Yep.
They're in charge of all their own water supply, the city doesn't have to provide water for them, so as soon as they check that and sign it, they're agreeing to those terms.
Yeah, just add that in right above the signature.
Yep, that'd be easy enough.
Do you think we want $30, or that seems, to me, it seems a little steep, but I don't know.
I think I agree. For this first year, for just trying it out, I don't know. Because there will be some cost if we're gonna be doing some of the
Well, yeah,
first and
Yeah.
the,
so, and that kind of stuff.
20? 15? I don't know.
Make a
30 sounds
motion what you want. No, 15, yeah, 15's fine for the first year if you want. We just threw that out there that day Rich and I were talking.
Well, what do other cities usually,
So the only one that I actually found the actual regulations online was Rochester, so these are Rochester prices at $30. So I mean, take that for what it is, it's a little bigger city, but they also have a lot more plots too, like they have a couple hundred plots. So,
But if you wanna go cheaper the first year, that's fine, you could add on to it next year.
That's what kind of what I was thinking too, to get people started and interested maybe, so.
how about 3?
I don't have an
To get
issue.
people started,
We-
I don't know.
Well, we talked about that too, Mitch and I did, that maybe the first year we should just see if we put it up free, who we can get to do it. And just the next year, just say next year we added charges to it. I mean, we talked about all that before, but I said we have to bring it to the council and get a council decision on it. So.
And there's not a big, I mean, it's not gonna be a lot of cost to the city.
no, I mean, you're looking at man hours for the tilling and the year cleanup if there's stuff left out there.
see if anybody's
Yeah, I mean,
interested.
If you don't get anybody for free, then we're probably just drop the whole thing, you know?
Well, yeah, no, I mean, just make a motion, we're fine, I'm fine with it.
I'll second her motion for free.
Motion made and second, drop the price of the garden to free for the first year only.
Bullshit.
No, I did not hear. Can we redo that, please? There wasn't really
Motion
an
was-
official first motion on the floor.
I move that the, garden plots be free this first year.
Nine second.
That's what I said, motion was made and second to make a motion for the garden to be free for the first year. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's carried.
And is that going to be the same motion for accepting the guidelines, or do we want to review the guidelines and make sure everything's in there that we want before we actually approve those?
Water.
Well, I think we should just table the guidance and come back with the final draft on it.
That sounds perfect.
Okay. Yeah.
And then wouldn't it be okay if you're doing this to put that you haul your own water?
Yep, I'll put that in there, and then, so any other suggestions you guys have that you want, so just bring that to the next meeting and discuss it at that point, and again, these are just guidelines that I pulled from the Rochester, and I took out some of their stuff that didn't really apply to us. But if there's anything that you guys want, that you don't want in here, or you want in here, that's completely up to you. These are just suggestions I put forward.
I had a question for the fencing, no colorful fencing, what?
Yeah, that was something, again, that Rochester had, it was like it was that bright orange fencing.
Yeah.
They didn't really want those in their plots. Again, that's something, that's not gonna be an issue here, we can just take that out.
That be an issue, I mean, for some reason?
I don't think it would be where it's at.
Well, isn't it right adjacent to the ball field though?
The ball field's here, we're gonna be over here farther.
I think we would want it somewhat aesthetically pleasing. I mean, if it's staked out, you know, if now we have 15 people and they all have different kind of fencing and bright orange fencing, that
Okay.
it might not look very appealing.
Okay.
I mean, it would be nice to keep it somewhat.
Well, neutral fencing, like I said, okay.
Electric.
Yeah.
That's. We might want to put that in there.
No electric fencing.
Well, there could
Oh,
be
there
somebody
you go.
who could, I mean,
Hook up a battery
put
and,
up a
yeah,
battery and have
yeah.
electric fencing around there,
yeah.
so. Might be, sometimes people have to be told those things that are common sense. Right?
Anything else for the community gardens? Otherwise, we'll move forward.
Sure. Thanks, man.
Yeah, no problem. All right, so brief update on the farmer's market. So we did meet and we're working on that transition process. Linda has already spoken with a few of the vendors. She's also spoken to some people who want to be new vendors this year. So that's going together well. Something I did wanted to bring up and discuss with you, there was $1,200 of petty cash used last season. It wasn't clear how much of this went to programs like the Power of Produce or advertising or anything like that. But I was wondering if there was a limit that you guys wanted to put on that, or if there was a reasonable amount of money that you were allocating to petty cash and things like that.
You got anything on that, Jill?
Just that it was $1,200 is what was total over the farmer's market dates. That was given out for the petty cash.
Yeah, cause I know we also bought tokens for.
Yeah, and so then there wasn't accurate documentation of how much went towards the tokens. It was just, in our computer system, it says $1,200 total, in $300 increments.
Well, let's leave it at that. If they need more, we'll look at it later.
Okay. That sounds good to me. The other topic was that there's a possibility that the depot will be under construction this year, so that round around the depot may not be available for the market. So we might need to, I don't know if you guys are open to closing off the street for that one day a week somewhere, or how we can move it so we can keep it in the downtown area, but not interrupt any potential construction plans at the depot. I think that's a decision that you guys would have to make, and especially if there's a street closing down for 4 hours.
Is that the county road?
No,
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 that
County
was
Road
up,
goes- goes
up,
west.
Yeah.
up one.
And there isn't a lot on that block, really. I mean, people can go around the block if they have to, but, you know, unless they gotta get to the post office, they could walk.
they could cut,
Yeah.
we could shut half
There
of the
really
street
isn't, yeah,
down.
there isn't a whole lot of business here anyway, I don't see it would be a problem.
I mean, even if we had to just shut half of it down. I
Yeah,
mean,
from the entrance in there, yeah.
I think we could work around it.
Okay.
I'd like to see it stay there, 'cause
Mhm.
people
Yeah,
like
it's a good
it
spot.
there.
Yeah, and after the depot's done, it sounds like that would be the permanent location for the market too.
I know they wanted it there too,
That's
so,
what I thought, yeah.
Yeah.
no, we'll work around it.
Okay, perfect. And then there was one last thing for the market. Linda did have some updates for the hours during September and October. So she's changed the guidelines a little bit there. She talked to some of the vendors, and all the vendors that she spoke to agreed to kind of shorten up those hours a little bit in those last couple of months of the market. But I think it went down to
3 to
yeah,
6:30.
3 to 6:30 instead of 3 to 7. So not really big changes, but it sounded like Selena at one point, she would come to the council anytime these guidelines change for your final approval. So as long as you guys are good with that change and the contact information changing on that, you guys can go ahead and vote on, and I'll let Linda know.
Can I get a motion on that to approve that?
Yeah, I'll make a motion.
A second?
I'll second it.
Motion made and second to approve the amend the rules that we just talked about, shortening hours and that in the fall. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's carried.
Next up, the facade programs. There's 2 businesses that are working on those applications. I was hoping to receive them, but I have not received them yet, so hopefully get them for you at the next meeting. The last item I have for discussion tonight is Transit Heights Park. So I did get in contact with Erin Graveman, who was one of the residents here in town who was wanting to do the dog park out at Transit Heights. She's putting together a few people from the community who are interested. So we're gonna see how the community can get involved, get that, get it done and make it a reality. So we're hoping to meet sometime in early April. But yeah, so more on that next month, hopefully.
I wonder if there's some way we can get some advertisement out to the people that are interested too. You know, maybe even some, I don't know. How many, we get the water and sewer bill, don't be only one between there, wouldn't it? Yeah. 'Cause there's a lot of people with dogs that are interested in it, they might wanna just come and help, and be part of it, but I don't know how you'd ever, anybody to know.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's what Erin and I want to discuss, and she said she already had a few of those people put together who wanted to be part of this group to help with that.
Yeah.
If you want to put it on the webpage or Facebook, I advertise on them, so just have to let me know.
Perfect, yeah, we'll be in touch with that then. That is all I have for you. Do you guys have any questions for me?
No.
You and I talk very much, so we're on the same page.
Yep.
Yep. Anybody else have anything? If not, we'll
That's pretty
make a
good.
motion to adjourn.
I move to adjourn.
I got a second?
I'll second.
Motion made and seconded to adjourn the EDA. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's carried. We'll go right into the council meeting. Stand for pledge allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Okay, I got a motion to approve the agenda. Do I get a second?
I'll second.
Motion made and second to approve the agenda. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's carried. Approve the special meeting minutes of February 16th.
I move to approve. That's February 16th.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Motion made and second to approve the meeting minutes of February 16th. Excuse me, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's carried. Approve the minutes of the March 9th meeting.
So moved.
Do I got a second?
I'll second it.
Motion made and second to approve the March 9th meeting. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's carried. Old business. New business, Public Works update. We've got a lot to go on here for your first week. I hope you're still around next week.
Well, I did consider it.
We need to turn the microphone on, so you have to push and hold that button, and it will light up green.
I talked to him, he said he can't have another meeting. Let's hold it again. I'll give him another date.
Okay, I've had quite an interesting 8 days. I gotta say, everybody's been very welcoming. Jill, Josh, and Kyle have helped me out a lot with things. But in the first couple days, we had a major breakdown down there at the plant. The main primary clarifier with heavy duty chain and boards snapped on Tuesday. So we had to drain that all out and have it replaced, which we did. We put in new chain, new boards, all new guides. I had the bearings checked for all the sprockets. They were fine. And I had one that was a little loose, but they had been replaced in 2007. So Cayman was out there and said it would be fine to probably make it 5 to 6 years. The only thing that was really a problem was the worm drive that drives that chain. There's a gearbox and a motor on top that's obsolete. Cayman said they could get it. I have not had time to get any quotes or anything on it, but I don't know if this is something you want me to look into so we have it, get some quotes, and then we can decide later if we want to purchase it. But the Zambroda guys were up there and helped us. They did an amazing job. We got it done in 6 hours installing it, and we did that on Monday. And then Quality Flow Systems, they've been in contact with us. They're coming next week to do them valves. Tuesday, the valves and the 2 pumps that were ordered. Well, now, yeah, like Carrie says, my fingers are crossed. I'm going to call them again tomorrow and try to stir them up a little. They're supposed to be coming Tuesday to put them pumps in because they said they got all the parts. We took care of that sinkhole by the school and that storm drain that somebody called about, and I talked to you about that too. We got that cleaned out today, and we're hoping to get these locates done out here, starting on them maybe tomorrow or Friday, and then that way they can come in and do the boring and keep the road project on schedule. I do have one other thing that I'd like to bring up. It's about uniforms. I found out that working in the sewer plant is interesting and all, but you come home awfully dirty. So I put together a quote from Cintas. They provide you with 11 changes of clothes for 2 weeks' time. They laundry them, take care of them, and they fix them. We can have our logo on them if we want to, or we can have just our names. It'd be like work shirts, something. I think Ag Partners has something like this now.
Navarro's too.
Yeah, it's about $9.35 an employee, approximately. And then that would include summer and winter shirts. And then it would be either work pants or jeans. And I had circled it here in this catalog if you want to look at it. And I had the prices on here too. And the benefits to it is keeps your wife happy.
Well, it's a disaster. I'm glad I have uniforms.
Right. And you're really in the dirt. And it's nice
Is that a
because
uniform too?
then you can change here, drive your pickup home with a clean pair of clothes.
Yep,
So you keep this gunk, I call
it's
it.
pretty much a must,
A must.
especially if you're in the city and the
Yep.
sewer down there.
So it's something I'd like you guys to look into. And then next week, fingers crossed, we don't have to spend all week in the sewer plant. I know we're going to have some maintenance to do on the trickling filter and stuff this week, maybe tomorrow and early next week. We're going to try to start getting stuff ready, or I will, for spring too. The sweeper needs to be serviced. I switched out the sweeper on the lawnmower today because we need to replace the brushes so we can clean up the bike trail, pick up some of them trees. That's what's on our agenda. There's plenty of to do, I'm finding out. But everything's been good. Everybody's been welcoming. I can't say enough how great the Zimbrota guys were. Paul and Larry and Jeff. I mean, if you want to know wastewater, they're the people to call. And they dug in. I mean, Kyle helped me a lot, but I want to make sure you guys know that they were great to be up here. So that's all I have.
Well, thanks, Jason.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Jason.
Thank you for jumping right in.
No problem.
Literally.
Literally.
Literally. It was knee deep.
Okay, next on it is the City Hall construction.
Can I hold up for 1 second? Do we want to approve him of getting the uniforms?
Yeah.
Oh, we can do it right now, yeah.
I'll make a motion that we get them, because we have to.
And it's $9.35 a year is what they're,
No, we
No,
know.
$9.35 a week.
so $9.35
Yeah.
a week.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we can still wear the stuff for good use. This is mostly just the pants,
Yep.
and the work shirts. And she'll send me an example before we start this. I want to send her the logo. And I'll probably, if I got your emails, I'll send it to you so you know what it looks like. Because they're not coming down this week, so it'd be next week, Jill? Is it
Yeah,
come?
next week.
Come every 2 weeks. It's the same people that do the mats. Send us. And hopefully, if this is something you can offer to the assistant if he's interested.
They do ours too, so.
They do yours too. Oh, so they're in town all the time.
They do Ag Partners, Lodemar's, us, Fitzgerald's.
Okay. Yeah, it would be, it's nice to not have to, because I washed my clothes over there at the laundromat, and it was $5 to start the thread off.
People want you to have to do that.
No, and I don't go, they were bad, and they were from being on my hands and knees cutting out that chain and, I mean, obviously that doesn't happen all the time, but you're in that soup a lot. I never knew so much about wastewater, but I heard it's an up and coming field. I saw it on the news last night. They want people to do it.
There's only 30-some people in the state of Minnesota registered to run plants.
That's what I heard, and Paul and Jeff told me they're gonna take their test now, so there'll be 32 if they pass.
Well, yeah, it's a very tough, test to take and pass, so.
I asked Nolan tonight on the way home if he wanted to do it. Changed his mind.
Okay, let's keep going here then. City Hall construction, what that is about, because I've talked to Jason and them, and they started rooms out here in the other shop. It's to get these different departments so that we're apart. There's too much interference between departments. And so Jason and the assistant's gonna be out there in the other building. We got phone out there, and we got internet out there for them. It's just to finish what they did and finish on the room. There's not a whole lot left. The doors and basically some little electrical work. And then I'm working on trying to figure out, we gotta get something with the police department to get them walls insulated, cause you can hear them out here. I'm sorry, but you can, so we gotta do something there. So that'll be next on the agenda, and then I'm still trying to figure out for the gas, what to do there. Because when Jill's got people in here, we shouldn't have people running back and forth constantly. It's not very professional, number one. And I don't want any more upsets, and we just took this course, and we need to just be professional at it, so. That's what the construction's about. And I'm working on it, or we're working on it, so.
You know, so this wall will stay now or what?
I ain't decided
Okay.
yet.
I thought, yeah.
That's what we got, that's what we're trying to figure out.
Okay,
I mean, I'd like to see it gone, but we just gotta figure out what we can do with the gas. You know, I'd like to get the gas over near the building also. You know, but then if people paying their bills, we could still have them pay it here and just have them come over and get it, you know, but that's something we gotta think about, so. But that's what that is about. So anybody have any questions on it?
Does the gas need their own building?
It's just to get, this building isn't designed where he can have his meetings, Jill can have her meetings. I mean, one's here and the other, and then rumors get started, and then that's what we're trying to avoid. We have to do something, so,
Can I suggest something here?
yeah,
What if you put his office on the north side of that building,
that's what I'm thinking.
and then if people wanna come in and pay gas, they can pull up on the back side and come in that back door by the
There's
well.
a service door back there.
There's a
yeah.
service door,
Yeah.
and then, cause Kyle does help us. We
No,
work
and
together.
I
But
understand
I'm
that.
wondering if that would work, cause then we'd be,
Have three different places. I mean, the building's big enough to do it. And
Right.
there is a room there already. It's just, we could close part of it off for his office. I mean, that's what I was really thinking about.
that's up to you guys, I'm just.
No, but
throwing it
that's-
out there.
When I was out there looking the other day, I was sitting there thinking, maybe we could keep you on this side, him on that side, Jill in here, and do something in there for the police department. I mean,
Would
it's,
the gas commission be willing to put some money
they're gonna,
towards his office?
originally, when that building was built, that's what we were gonna do. But we never did yet because the way it was set up, but. I'll bring it up to a gas man, I got a gas meeting tomorrow, so.
At least we're getting looking into it, isn't it?
Yeah, just so you people know what's going on, so you don't say, what is he doing this time? Yeah. And it wasn't their guys' idea, it's me working, I talked to Dick about it, talked to Jill about it, talked to Jason about it, talked to Josh about it, so. Talked to Kyle about it, so we're all on the same page anyway, so. Oh, part-time summer help lawn mowing. That I don't know about.
So that was just added today. Do you want to take that, Jason?
Yeah, I can.
So we talked about a part-time lawnmower, like a high school kid. They could mow, weed whip, maybe, pick up trash, do some curb painting too, help with maybe some curb spraying. I suppose they'd have to be at least 16 years. But we talked about that today, just to put them in the mower so me or the assistant doesn't have to be mowing consistently all summer long. Especially if we get a wet year, we'll be mowing 2 or 3 times a week probably.
The only thing I'm agreeing with you, don't get me wrong, but there's one section in town that I wouldn't want to see a high school kid doing, and that's up on that trail. Behind Ryan's and that up there, that's too steep for,
Oh,
you
one
know,
of us could do that.
that's what I mean.
We would just make sure, well, I would make sure, because I don't want anybody to get hurt. I would make sure that if it was steep, I would do it ourselves.
Yeah,
One of us
and it
would.
is, I mean,
Right.
they always mowed it a certain way to make it work. But that's the only place I wouldn't wanna see any young kid on. They're like out here, down there, I don't have an issue with it.
No, that would be no problem, because I would take them around and show them, hey, don't go on this steep part.
What,
And one more thing that we've mentioned too is maybe like the first time out, an adult would go out there.
You'd have to.
Oh.
Because in particular, Cranston Height, we have them on the list for the Goodhue School to do community cleanup. And so that one has a bunch of sticks down, so we don't really want a minor being out there with sticks flying, so.
More than likely, we always had summer help at Goodhue County, and they don't usually start.
Yeah.
We had them a couple of years ago until June, just because it depends on who you get. If you get a college kid that gets out in May, you might have somebody the 15th, but most of the time it's the 1st of June.
I would suggest you mow it once or twice, so you know what.
Well, right, and get the pattern down and make sure you're not shooting rocks at people's houses or out in the street and in the sewer, because that would be.
And we did for many years have a high school kid do it.
Oh, good.
So, I mean, I'm not against that, it's just that.
That and the painting, the curb painting and all that,
There's tons of stuff they
Yeah,
can
oh, absolutely.
find to do. I mean, even if they have to go sweep the deck at the pool or clean that,
Right.
I mean, or clean up after a storm. Not that they can use a saw or nothing, but if they have to go around and pick up sticks, I can find stuff for them to do. They can sweep the floors.
No, you know, like I said, I don't have an issue, just you gotta have a motion from the council.
I like the idea too of having a high school kid, but,
Or college.
or college, right, or liability insurance, is there gonna be an issue with that at all, or
Not for 16.
they will have insurance though, and we will have.
No, they'd be covered under
They're covered under us.
some liability and a work comp too, if they get hurt.
Okay,
I
Just
think
like-
this is a great way to help the new people out. They've got enough going
Oh,
on
yeah.
that just trying to even just get ahead and kind of get your head above water.
Well, I
for
gotta.
that first year, and
We're all gonna have a lot to learn because we have to learn the gas.
Yep.
And then all the maintenance. You spend a couple hours every day at the sewer plant, no matter what. So it would be nice to have, and it's good for the kids too, to work. I feel it's good to work for a service like or a community. So, and maybe you want to set certain months like June to August or whatever.
No, we'll see how you guys are.
Let's see how we're doing in a month.
how will we hire the person, is that gonna go through the council, is it gonna go through?
That's gotta come through here.
I'd like to be in on the interview.
Oh, by far.
By far.
Yeah, or,
So.
yeah.
Yep.
I mean,
I mean, that's versus like the swimming pool, we kinda let they're kinda, that's what you're saying, right, Wayne?
Yeah, yeah.
That's different, and then, that's what you're getting at, or,
Sure,
yeah.
yeah, just-
cause you don't have anything to do with who does the swimming pool.
Swimming pool, we have the manager just hired
Yeah.
because she knows what's going on there, we don't. Or
Yeah.
that person does, I should say.
sure, so.
I'll make a motion that we hire a part-time summer help with lawn mowing and whatever Jason deems fit to do
Right.
when it's necessary.
Got a second?
I'll second.
Motion made and second to hire part-time summer help. All in favor, say aye.
Alright,
Opposed? Motion's carried. Board of Appeals. Meeting, we don't have anybody right now. We usually have a person that's just got on, like, that's here for 4 years as one of them. And, well, Wayne, you went on it before to
Yeah.
the other one.
Yeah.
And if it's okay with everybody here, I'd like to see you and would be either Teresa or Jason.
Is it evenings or?
Well, it's a one-time
Oh.
class and then, but then we can have the people come in here with the Board of Adjustments.
Yeah, so the way it works now, Jason, if somebody doesn't like their tax value.
Yep.
They can come down to here, and if we have people that are properly trained.
Yep.
We can make adjustments to the value if we so choose. Because we've had some turnover in council people, last time, because Taya was one of the trained people, we only had one person that was available. So while we still had the hearing, we were not able to make any adjustments. So the community member would have to go to the next level of the county to request any adjustments to their tax values.
And this year, they have to go to the county because we don't have anything, so.
and I did request a day off, and it sounds like they're gonna give it to me, so I can go to that.
Okay,
And there is an option to do the training online.
that I got the day off.
Yeah,
The 18th is a Monday, right after Easter.
yeah.
So, excuse me for saying that, the 18th, that's what you were referring to?
Yeah, that's right.
Yes.
Yeah.
I thought you meant the training course, sorry.
Okay. Yeah, no, I meant, yeah, that day, the 18th. So are you supposed to go to the 18th and there's a training course too then, online?
Okay, so,
forget
I mean,
how it goes.
anybody's welcome to go to the 18th. I was just
Okay,
skipping ahead a little bit
Okay.
by getting somebody else to do the training part. So you're welcome to go on the 18th. They haven't given me a time for that, which I can look into. It's a Monday. Yeah. So, and then separate topic is the training to be able to get it to come back here to the city of Goodhue. That training is online. It's like a 45-minute session.
Well, then I can do that. Jeez.
Okay, I think we got our committee appointed.
That would be great.
Oh, great.
Thank you. So that covers the next one too.
when is the online training gonna, yeah.
So I just have an open invite on there. So it has to be done now, between now and February 1st of 2023.
Yeah.
You have to have it done by the 1st of February for that year.
So you'll give us,
Yeah, I'll send you the link.
Anything else on that? Okay, gravel in 505 Park Avenue. The gravel they're talking about is the alley we have behind Park Avenue. It's like from Derek Weckerling's to the west towards the park. They put gravel on there every year, every other year anyway, so.
Yeah, and it was blacktop was damaged badly 25, 30 years ago.
And that's where, then we put gravel up there, because they had blacktop and just broke it right apart, so.
Yeah, that's kind of a must. That gets really, there's enough people that use that, we might as well get it fixed up a little long as we can.
Then the pool ordinance, you got it right
You
here.
got it right here. All right. Take one. I kind of did a kind of a simple ordinance on here. Let me explain it to you. Basically, it's a little bit in there about hot tubs too. Basically, so they got to keep them covered up. I'd like you to take a look at this. And so you got some point of reference about the 5,000 gallons. If you turn to the second page. So, for example, if you have a water height that's 3 feet and your diameter of your pool is 14 feet, that's not, so what we're trying to get at, they gotta be so big before we even care about them, basically. We don't want collapsible kind of kiddie pools. I don't think that's what you're interested in, right? But I did think a little bit here. I think we should make them, one thing we should add to this, they should have to get a permit though before they do this, so we can, it doesn't really say that in here. I think we should add a permit process too, that they have to bring the permit before the council. But again, these are pretty general about, you gotta have a fence, and they gotta have a lock, and et cetera. You can't put them on the easement, on a side easements or anything, 10 feet off the lines, and et cetera. So I tried to keep it simple, but I would add that other thing about the permit process. They gotta get a permit. So that's kind of, I tried to keep it simple.
was there something that we looked at before about, a waterway or?
Well, I think that was the issue there. I think Patrice was, where the gentleman was, Mr. Nelson was gonna put his pool back there. Kerry was concerned that there might be some kind of a natural waterway going through there that might impede if you put it there, it might affect the water. Is that what
Yep.
you're saying?
Yeah, because that takes everything from east side of Crestview Court down around.
So,
But the way, when I went up there and looked at the way it is, the waterway is gonna be far to the north.
okay, well, the issue that I guess that's why we'd wanna have a permit and not only permit, but a site plan, so we know where it's gonna be. Like we do with houses, sort of, I think,
Yeah.
So then you don't have to say anything about being close to a water. It's not supposed to be drained into anything like that, am I correct or not?
Usually like the in-ground pools like that, you don't wanna drain because the cement will crack.
Okay,
They take, the water will hold the cement up.
okay, but these are above ground too.
Yeah,
Could be, yeah.
yeah, they could be both ways.
Okay.
But the one with the waterway was Nelson's there because of behind it is the main reason.
So, but I think what she's saying, Carrie, is that if they do wanna drain it, we don't want them drain, we want them, they really should drain to the street.
I was gonna
Couldn't
say,
they?
it's gotta come to the street and
All
go
right,
down
well,
the
okay.
storm sewers.
I mean, put that in there, yeah.
Yeah, all right, that's why I'm asking what you
Yeah.
think, so.
Yeah. I think
Do we
that's
wanna
what
just
need.
think about a little bit more of any ideas and come back to the next meeting and change it or not?
Yeah, I think they should just take it home and study.
Okay,
Thank you.
Yep.
So making it simple, I think that's good.
Simple is good.
2-3 pages.
Well, now we can ask for a table this till next time, just to,
Yeah. We didn't need to make a motion on the gravel for Park Avenue, or we just gonna
No,
get
that-
your grant?
yeah, that's information.
Okay,
So if somebody asks what's going on, you guys know.
okay.
So can I get a motion to table that pool ordinance to next week or next meeting?
I move to table.
Second.
Motion made second to table the pool ordinance till next meeting. Everybody have a chance to look it over and add or subtract anything they want. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion's carried. Publishing a newspaper next week for current post to city web. Spring, didn't we do that?
I did.
Oh,
Yep, so this is just letting you know that
That's
I
all.
posted that.
oh, okay.
And I copied the same, posting as I did last year, looking for gravel and dirt.
And equipment.
And then the hiring of the lifeguards to come in here to pick up an application. And then once we collect them, I'm gonna run it for 4 weeks. And then once we collect them, then we'll, invite Tori to come in and help review them.
Well, Tori should be doing it, yeah. Okay. Mayor's concerns, well, one of them is I was at the sewer district meeting today down at Enzembroda. And I told them I'd bring it up tonight about, they wanna hire a lobbyist to make sure it's gone through first committee and it went to, gosh, now I
The Ways and Means.
Ways and
It's
Means
in
Committee.
Ways and Means, that's the second,
yeah, and
and
they want us to have a lobbyist in the representative side of it. They don't think there's gonna be an issue, but that's what it was. Cause then they're gonna send some people up there again in April 22nd or something, wasn't it? Yeah, so I just wanna bring it up, if it's okay. Everybody's bringing it back to their council to make sure it's okay to hire a lobbyist.
That'll be a split cost between,
Yeah, between everybody, yeah. Not just us, it's the whole district.
Do they have any idea how much it's gonna cost?
No, they were looking into it. He actually called a few of them while we were there, but didn't get an answer back, so.
I think you're probably almost gonna have to have something like that to keep track of it.
Well, that's what everybody's
Somebody
thinking.
knows what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
and then they're done. Middle of May 18th or something.
Yeah, I think it was the
So
18th.
maybe, so it did pass out, did it pass out of the first committee or what? There was no recommendation, it did, okay.
Unanimously.
Oh, it did, okay.
Yeah, and then then it went to the Ways and Means Committee, and then there it's going over, they'll go for vote, and they go to the representatives.
Okay. So this is in the Senate, this is going to go on. Oh, okay.
and we have like Haley and, Goggins kind of supporting it, or?
Yeah, Goggins on the Senate side of it, Haley's, and then Haley and,
I heard
who's the one from down in Rochester too, that they're all for it anyway. Or put it this way, majority of them are, there's
Steve Sandrum, isn't he for that?
He's in favor, he's one of them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I
there's,
think everybody's pretty much on board, but there's gotta be a way to push it.
yeah, that's where they want the lobbyists, so we can push it through.
Okay, okay.
Cause they said if it does go through, they can probably start this year on, but it'd take 4 years to do it, so. And after looking at the plant and going down and talking to Jason, I actually was down there when they were doing it. And we need it as ASAP. I mean, putting a lot of money into that plant, right now. So if I can get a motion to be okay to hire a lobbyist for the district, not for us, for the district.
I'll make a motion.
Second?
Motion made second to make it okay to hire a lobbyist. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. That was the only thing I got. We're still working on this other candidate because we're working tonight actually on him.
That's why I stepped out. What are we gonna, maybe you should just tell them what, tomorrow we supposed to?
Tomorrow, yeah.
Okay.
What?
Well, give him till tomorrow because,
Oh,
yeah. Because
the other hire we,
Why is it taking so long?
he's got family issues and he's trying to make sure it's gonna work with the insurance and the para was today, but
I didn't know anything about that today.
yeah. And so I told him, I said, I have to know.
But we've been saying we have to know for a
Well,
week, 2 weeks. I mean, when do we finally say we've gotta move on? Jason needs somebody.
probably after tomorrow if he doesn't.
then the other people that applied that we sent notices that they didn't get, then we have to put up, rehire again then, or how do they do it?
We'd have to interview.
You can pull those same
Oh, you can?
applications.
Yeah, just interview what we have left.
Oh, yeah,
Sure.
and just
We
tell them
never
that's
did
not.
hire for, or interview for the assistant anyway, so, right? Cause we were just gonna go with this other one.
We offered him the assistant job, yeah, right.
Yeah, so we could go back.
So,
And that could be done at a special meeting within
yep,
a short
Yep.
amount of time.
yeah, as long as we got the application, we could make a meeting early next week and go through for the
Yeah.
interviews, so. Hopefully I don't have to worry about that.
So is that pretty much what you want us, I mean, if you don't take it tomorrow, then that's it?
Well, we're gonna have to.
Well, no, I
We gotta
think it
move
should
on.
stay that, that's the way it is, that's the way it is.
Yeah,
I mean,
Yes,
he's already, it's way beyond.
right.
I mean, he accepted the position on February 25th, and we offered it to him on the 18th of February, and it's now, what? March
22nd.
23rd.
Right there, sorry.
That's, it's unacceptable.
And the insurance is the same no matter which position he accepted, right?
Right.
no, he's hired. It's family issues with insurance.
Right,
That's the
absolutely.
problem.
Well, we went through the numbers and it's.
Well, Dick has been working with, I've been working with him, Jill's been working with him here the last couple of days really heavy, so.
You know,
What time is he gonna let you know?
Well, Terry, that's who he, just so he texted, he didn't text me, he texted Jill and said he wanted to talk to Carrie, and I said, and Terry, that's why I stepped out, Carrie said, I'm in a meeting, so I called him, and I called him twice, and sent him a text, and, he said, I can't talk right now, I'm in another meeting. I said, okay, I'll pass this along to Carrie, and he said, this is at 5:24, it's a phone conference meeting that I'm on. I said, okay, that's all I know, so, that's,
I was hoping to know before tonight. But we'll get somebody for you, Jason.
As long as, yeah, I'm not too worried to get some, there's more applicants, I'm sure, too,
Yes.
Yeah,
who doesn't want it. My concern is it's been so long, is he gonna want to work here?
Exactly.
That's my, like, his attitude's gonna be okay about being here? Like, 'cause I know it's really hard to change your job.
Yeah.
I just did.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
my wife did, all within about 3 weeks. So,
And we
Still
thank you
married.
for doing it in a reasonable
Oh, yeah.
amount of time.
what's that?
And we thank you for doing it in a reasonable amount
Right.
of time.
But, you know, it's had a while to think about it too, so.
Yeah,
Well, we'll find out.
I'll find out more tonight, think, either do or die, so.
Right.
And if I might add something, so if he does not decide, to take it tomorrow, what would the council like me to do as far as in the meantime? Am I posting a notification to open up?
We'll pull what we have. Cause we can look, revisit those. Let's revisit them first. When you're on the personnel
Yeah.
committee, we should revisit those, look
Oh,
at the
yeah. Oh, yeah.
applications. There were others who we were considering. So, we can do that,
You can do it, you can
You
do
don't
it, we
have
can do whatever
to.
process you want.
because it can be, this individual has decided not to take the position, and we've still got applicants that we can look at.
And so my thought process with that would be that this has been such a long process and we've already sent the no thank you, the denial of an interview. Is the council wanting to open it up, say for a week or for 2 weeks in case we have somebody else? Because 5 or 6 weeks ago and letting somebody know that it was not offered to them. I just don't want to spend so much time on the possibility of 8 other applicants that we let go 5 weeks ago.
Well, that's a chance we're gonna have to take.
We can
can do
we
that.
contact them, see if they're interested,
Yeah,
if
and
they
see if
are,
they're
then we can
interested.
interview. If they aren't, then. we'll-
There are lots of companies that will keep applications open for 1 year after, and they go back into that pool and say, we've got a position now open, are you interested?
And I understand that, but I'm just suggesting too, maybe there's other people that might be interested in it now knowing that there's an opening, so.
Didn't you feel confident that we had some other people that we were looking at?
There seemed like some good people.
I think Wayne and I,
Our
when we
system.
looked at those, and Carrie's have looked at those, I think that's where we should go, and now Jason is here, he could look too.
I would like
If
to,
we-
Oh,
Yes,
I think that's awesome,
absolutely.
you could be in on it too.
because there's, maybe a possibility you would have other applicants outside if they know who is here too.
Correct,
You know, like,
Exactly.
there you go.
Oh, so
And
that's,
so that was
that's-
that was what I
That's what I'm
was.
kinda going with Jill on the same thing, that maybe you do wanna open it up for, maybe, I don't know.
Maybe
you could-
only for a week
Only for
or
a week,
a
yeah.
short time.
Well, let's see, it won't get in the paper for another week now.
No, that's just it, I just,
So I would just assume that tomorrow, if we don't have an employee, go back to these other ones and just ask them if they don't want it, then we'll do it.
And then
We have to do it that way then.
right.
Jason can look over those too, right? The other applicants.
Yeah,
Right,
because
people,
yeah.
we were gonna have him sit in on interviews anyway.
Yeah, so we have a starting ground, that's what I want.
Yep.
So
Okay.
why couldn't we move on from this tonight? I mean, because tomorrow's another day. I mean, I respect your opinion about, does he really wanna be here? That's my concern, it's been over a month now. We've given him an ultimatum over and over and over again. Last week, Wednesday,
Well,
I need to
we were
know today.
told, before the council directed Dick and I to work with him, that's what we've been doing. We didn't give him an ultimatum until today.
Mr. Mayor, that's not what you told me last week.
I
When I
told
talked to
you
him-
that I was hoping he would be on board last week. That
Oh.
Dick and I were working on it, didn't I? And I said it was an insurance problem,
And
didn't
you
I?
said you had it worked out, and he was
And-
going to give you an answer.
And we thought we did, but then this,
It's a hard situation. The only person who's suffering from this is Jason. He doesn't have somebody to
yeah,
work with.
and I
And this
understand.
This is dragging out.
A lot of people are affected by it, not just
Yeah.
Jason.
Yes, absolutely. And so, like,
so can we be assured that tomorrow will be the last day?
Well, let's make a motion. Let's make somebody, if you, if, it's a,
By tomorrow, if he doesn't do it by tomorrow, we're done.
he's off the
I'll
table.
make a motion that we need to hire by tomorrow or else move on. And what the other two,
Do we want to put a time frame on it?
And the other people accept, I mean,
A
wait,
time frame. But,
As far
I
as
mean,
when he
tomorrow
sets
is long day, so
But-
is it by,
But he
by,
does work too, and, you
By-
know. I
By
think-
4 o'clock tomorrow, if he doesn't let me know, then we're moving on.
we gotta move on.
okay, 4 o'clock, by 4 o'clock.
We gotta make it very specific, because this has gone on too long.
Okay, any council concerns?
So we made a motion.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I got a motion on the floor to give him till tomorrow at 4 o'clock. All in favor, say aye.
Well,
Or do I got a second?
No, but we didn't get a second.
Yeah.
I'll second it.
Motion made and second. Now, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's carried. Now, council concerns.
I have something that came up that's light. I think it's light, okay, I think it's light, okay, all right. This is from a young person in the community, I mean, they're, you know, starting a family and that kind of thing. They're wondering about the sirens. Okay, one at, I don't know what you call them, are they sirens? The one at 6 o'clock?
Just
12
one.
o'clock and 6 o'clock, yep.
Wind sirens.
Yeah. Right.
It's one
Well, they
side.
were just wondering when they started and why do we have them?
It's been going on for, I'm 68 years old and it's been on since I've been around.
I think the 6 o'clock one was, you're supposed to go home and eat supper.
You're right. My wife researched it one time, because we had the same question when we lived up here for 9 months. We had a baby, and she's like, why do they do that? Because he would be sleeping, and then it would go off.
Just about every town has a deal with the whistles.
Yeah.
And that's what it was.
Has a what?
She did
Yeah,
that.
you gotta deal with whistles. Mazeppa does, and Brona does, Red Wing does.
Oh, Red
Cannon
Wing,
Falls
Red Wing,
does.
we have the
One
one next to
o'clock.
my office, them bells at the church, all day long. Oh, they do.
Every 15 minutes.
Every 15 minutes,
That's
they go off, and, which is just the way it is, you know. But that's the 6 o'clock one was, you're supposed to go home for supper.
Because she was gonna come to the meeting, and I told her, go ahead, we're only 9 months here living, so.
But it wasn't even go home and eat.
But that's what it is, Patrice. So
Okay, I'll know it.
another one that's gonna be happening soon, I think, is the chimes are going back up to the church, on the Catholic church for 5 to 6 or something like that, 5 minutes before.
Really? Why?
They got them donated, some people were missing them. So somebody donated to the church to do that.
Yeah, they went off for how long?
Oh.
But it was 5 to 6, they went off, and at 6 o'clock,
5 to
That was your
6,
warning,
everybody
5 to
had to
6.
finish a baseball game
Yep.
at 6 o'clock, you're gone.
Oh my gosh.
6:01, Dad had the belt out if you weren't home. Any other council concerns?
I have one, I looked at this, since I'm not really working much. I was wondering if I would be able to go to the League of Minnesota Cities conference in Duluth. I don't think they had it last year due to COVID.
I think they should have it, somebody should go, just to keep up to that thing.
And it's on a Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, it's in Duluth. And so there's a lot of great topics if you were able to look at this, but I mean, I'd be willing to go on that. It's June 22nd, 23rd, and 24th. Yeah,
22nd, that's the day you're gone too, isn't it, Wayne?
Yeah, I'm gone.
do we have council meeting yet?
Yeah, we do, but we could change the council date, so don't worry about it.
But,
If you wanna go, I think you should.
I mean, I'd like to if you want to approve it.
Yep.
So, how does that work? Do I Jill make the reservations then? And then do the, you know, because we want to get the early bird,
Discount, huh?
yeah, discount on it. So,
And I looked at my calendar and there's a meeting in Goodview on March 29th, April 29th. and they're gonna be bringing up the sewer deal, and I cannot make it. So if somebody wants to go to Goodview, we'll just get you registered. True, you gonna go, Patrice? It's the one we talked about today too.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and I think,
What day is that? 29?
I think it's the 29th. I've got it at home
I
too.
mean, the day of the week.
Wednesday, I thought.
Wednesday.
Is it Wednesday?
Oh, yeah,
No.
the meeting was supposed to be on
It's
Tuesday.
a Tuesday. It's a Tuesday.
So it's either the 29th or 30th. Let me just get it squared away and we'll get you
Okay, I think
registered.
I wrote it down too. Okay, Richard,
Yeah, and we'll get you registered for it. It's a meal and then they got all day and they're talking about the sewer district, so.
Was that next week?
By George, it is.
It is. It is.
But I thank you guys for wanting to do that then.
Okay.
Public concerns. Well, I'll give that up. Motion to pay the bills?
I went through and I just had one of the credit card charge or something, and one of them was circle.
That's him.
Is it? Oh, that's from is that from the sewer?
No, I don't know.
Oh,
Kyle.
no, that was from the gas commission, it was a
Yeah.
credit card for, I don't remember, I circled it, cause I was.
What do you got? Kyle went in and got some stuff because he asked me
Okay.
about it.
Okay, well, yep, as long as, yeah. I just seen it was something with a credit card.
I told him that
long as
anytime
they
that
keep
happens, I
receipts.
wanna make sure.
Well, that and then
Give you a
receipts are a must, yep.
It was the Menards, wasn't it?
Oh, I'm in the wrong next bill sheet, yeah.
Yeah, it's,
Good gas.
check number 37,862.
Yep, yeah,
What page is that in?
it's 4 or 5.
Or, oh,
It was just at the gas credit card for almost $500, and I thought I wasn't real sure.
oh.
Yeah, it was
Does
on
that
there.
get charged back to the gas commission then?
Yeah,
No, it does, okay.
Okay.
Yep.
and so like, for the month of February, his bill was like 8,000 something. So when it's coded in there, I just run the report and then he gets it. So anything that goes to Menards and his telephone, it automatically goes by the accounts. And so these numbers that you would see at the way, the second to the end column, there's all these codes on here. Those are coding systems for me. So for the gas,
So if we
I think
come
gas
up
is
with a
605.
solution on, when people go to Menards and like there's the 11% rebate,
I collect them all now.
oh, good, okay.
I
Free
collect them.
collects them all, they don't do it unless I know about it.
Right,
Okay,
well,
perfect.
yeah.
And I
because that's-
collect them and
that goes back to
I
the city.
requested some yesterday and I got them handed over to me.
That's
Okay,
good,
good.
yeah.
Cause I was thinking, you know, even here, wouldn't it be nice if we had, you know, 5 bottles of water or something with those? Is that something we can do, so we ever, you know,
Yeah,
for council meetings, you know, that.
And there was like that
Track those
candy
things.
stuff you'd see on the tables and that.
Yeah.
That was part of that.
Yeah.
We weren't always doing that, in other words.
Oh,
No, we weren't.
No,
But-
Imagine that.
imagine that.
But now when the credit card gets used, I gotta know
Right.
it, and then
Oh, absolutely.
rebates go to Jill, so
Yep.
should be
As long as
covered.
it's- Yep.
And so since we're on that too, we're starting to get points onto the credit card, meaning, the credit card, cause I paid, the Red Cedar, so that was our harassment training, that was $5,000, and so he wanted a payment right away, so I put that on the credit card. So our points are gaining up there. When we get to a place where we should cash those in the past, they've gotten a Visa gift card, and I put that in the drawer, and that was kind of used as petty cash. So there's plenty of options to be able to do it with that, those points. We can continue to get the Visa gift card. There's a whole bunch of stores that you can use it for, which none of them are in the city of Goodhue. So it's really not an option, I don't feel. So we can get the Visa gift card, which would help with not having to pull money cash for the petty cash fund, which I have that in a certain spot, and the mayor knows about where that is at. the other option would be, is you can convert that, instead of getting it into a gift card, just applying it to the payment. And if you ask me what my opinion on it would be, is I would just rather take that and apply it to the payment.
Oh, yeah,
Well,
that makes
that was
sense.
gonna be my suggestion.
Yeah,
You
you
can do
don't,
that.
you don't want that card out there.
Yep,
No,
because as far as the petty cash goes, it's handing Jason $5 to go wash his clothes quick.
Right.
And then it was handing $2 to go and send the envelope for somebody, like there's some building permit people, companies that are in Rochester. So they don't wanna drive just here, just to pick up their building permit that's been paid for, so they'll send me a check. So then it'll cost us $1.34 or something like that to mail it to them. So then when I go to the post office, I of course get the receipt. So there's that $1.34 that's shown, that's taken out of there.
No paper trail.
Right, yeah,
So I would rather write a check for petty cash
right.
when I need to get $20 or $30 to put in there to be able to have that, versus having yet another fund, and so we separate and get away from
Sounds
a
good.
different issue.
Use it on the bill.
So I have a question on this, then, do I keep track of my mileage
Mhm.
to Duluth? And then if there are meals that I have outside of, just turn those into you on those days?
We ain't paying for lobster.
No.
You know,
No
they,
party in it.
4 bottles of champagne.
Male strippers.
Lots of games sale for everything. Out the south.
No, as long as it's reasonable, Terry, is what it is.
Okay, okay, well, yeah.
So do I got a second on the bills?
I'll second.
I do.
Yep.
I still.
Oh, I'm
I still
sorry.
got some questions. Okay, on the first page, okay, it says Excel. And the second one down, well, restroom building, pump, swim pool. What does that all mean?
That's your Excel bill for all those facilities.
Yeah, we got all the restrooms up there, the lights and all that on it, and then,
Okay,
there, is that the street lights too, part of that?
Yeah.
Plus all the street lights in town?
Yep.
okay, and streetlights too, okay.
Yep.
All right, just a minute, I have a question on, okay, and this is just an explanation for me. Yeah, you've got water utilities, and then source of supply,
What page you on?
Yeah.
well, this is.
205.
3 of 5, I think it's on, in different places.
Oh, yeah,
at
oh,
the
yeah,
top.
yeah.
Water utilities, source of supply, $118. I mean, what does that mean? And sewer utilities, sanitary sewer, $814. What does that mean?
Okay, so you're looking under the EFTPS?
Yep.
Okay, so the mayor gets paid under certain categories. I get paid under certain categories. So mine goes between sewer, water, EDA, general government. And so, like, for instance, $118, so that sewer, so the EFTPS is all federal. So it's all our federal tax taken out of our paychecks. So it's all of us put together as a total. So I have to pay towards, so the sewer fund pays me, it pays Jason, which he hasn't got paid yet, but he's free for the first 2 weeks. So that would be like mine and Lori, and then Kyle is getting paid from the city side. So that is all broken down into those categories. So when you go to the right again, it goes by those numbers. Yeah.
So if you say there's $1,000 expense, $250 might be the streets, $250 might be the sewer department, $250 might be, so they allocate it between like the sewer and the water, so the true cost to run the sewer and water is allocated for in that particular way. And you just come up with those numbers. They're
And
just-
that's,
Yeah.
Patrice, that's why when we do the budgeting, we got so much in the
Mhm.
water and all that. That's where this comes out of, that, it's all the same checkbook, it comes out of that account, or,
Okay, so it's all broken down.
yeah,
Yeah, so
it's
when,
just
when
itemized.
you
It's
start-
where it's you allocate it to the different departments.
So when is Lori's last day here?
next week, so she wants to come in, on Wednesday and Thursday next week, and we're gonna do her and Mai's final reading together, for the water meters. We had some issues with how things were going, just with the transition, with not having some public works. And then in February, we kind of had to do a match of what we did in January. March,
Oh, that was a pretty good March.
I was flying solo on it. I did my best. There somehow was a glitch. Some meters do run backwards. So even if you hand scan them, they flip the numbers backwards. And I thought I was ready for all of this. And I took them off the printer and I went to that room and I was like, I know how to use this folding machine that stuffs them in or folds them and stuffs them and licks them shut. And I didn't view them. And so unfortunately, probably 25-ish customers got a $40,000 bill.
Oh, no.
We
I
learned by
bet they
our,
called.
we learned by our mistakes.
And all of them were great. All of them were fine.
Yeah.
But what happens with that then too is when you go back into the system and you start making those changes, then you start making so many changes. And this is, for us, this system is not, it was not created for the sewer side. It was created for Kyle's side. And the city bought into the software that the gas commission is using because they only use one route. We have 4 routes. And so 4 times a year, we have to run Route 1. And so I also thought that it was Route 2 along with that. And so when I went to go and edit them back out of there, it actually drew some that had already applied. So then we did miss a handful that did not get a bill. And so when Lori came in last week, she showed me how to problem solve all of that. And so I feel like I need her for next week. And then she's done. Because I had December with her, so I was fresh here. I was here for 3 days. And then in January, we lost our public works. February, we did a copy of January bills. March, I failed, and so I need her for April.
Yeah.
To be perfectly honest.
That's
You
fine.
know what, it happens.
Yeah.
It does.
And it's like,
So,
it
At
is
least you're
what it
aware of it,
is.
you know,
Yeah.
that's the deal, that's how it
Yeah,
happens.
so we fix it,
Yep,
just take
right.
it care of it. Yep, it's
I told her,
and we still have money in the checkbook, so we're all good. We're still getting paid.
Wow, if we collect those $40,000, we should be really.
And that was the funny thing about it is
Oh.
they all had great humor. They're like, we know that you're new. We're fine with it. And I'm like, well, we have street projects, and then they start laughing. So it was fun. They're like,
It was the only way we could come up to pass it on.
unfortunately, was not anybody on those streets though.
I was hearing a couple come in and it was good.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, my God.
The only thing is, I was telling her I thought she screwed up on mine and she did. Darn.
Okay.
Well, I didn't get one for one of the residents, so I came and asked, I was gonna pay twice next month.
Oh, you didn't get.
No.
So anybody else got any more questions on the bills?
Yeah.
Any
No,
more questions, Richard? No.
Did I get a motion?
No,
no, I'll motion.
Do I get a second?
just to pay the bills.
Yeah.
To pay, I make a motion. I'll second.
Motion made and seconded to pay the bills. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. Did I get a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Motion made and seconded to adjourn. All in favor, say aye.
All right.
Aye.
Opposed? Well, thank you.
Who donated that China?
Holy smokes.
Who donated China? Dave, Dave,